Give you a look inside what it's doing this Internet Safety Day.
After January's severe winter weather, the town of Wheaton is working to make sure they don't run out of water during the next weather event. We'll show you how.
And speaking of water, we've got that on the way for the weekend. I'll have the latest updates on our next weather maker coming up in your forecast.
Breaking news as we come on the air at 6, the House fails to pass a resolution to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Republicans did not get the majority vote they were hoping for. Good evening to you. Thanks for watching WAAY 31 News at 6. I'm Nicole Williams.
And I'm Dan Schaefer. Also happening now, Governor Kay Ivey is giving her annual State of the State address at our state's capital. And during that, it just started moments ago at the old House chamber in the state capitol. UAB surgeon Dr. Selwyn Vickers will also join the governor. WAAY 31 News at 6, bringing you coverage you can count on today as we mark Safer Internet Day.
WAAY 31's Paige Meyer joins us live now after spending the day with the National Children's Advocacy Center, if I can get it out, to tell you what they're doing today to keep kids safe online.
Mikkel, that's right. The NCAC here in Huntsville tells me that they hope that Safer Internet Day causes parents to have conversations with their children about the online dangers that are out there. They tell me that parents' most important tool are already at their disposal, having open dialogue with their kids. Now, the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency says the internet presents risks for vulnerable individuals such as children and teenagers. Aaliyah says this day should serve as a reminder of the responsibility we all share in ensuring the online safety of our children. Pam with the NCAC acknowledged the internet and new technology can be intimidating for parents, but she says something you can tell your children is the behavior that's expected from them in real life should be the same online.
We don't want you to be around people who make you feel uncomfortable in real life, and we don't want that for you online either. So if that's happening, let us know. We want to help you with that.
Aaliyah and the Internet Crimes Against Children recommend a few proactive steps to enhance online safety. For one, educate yourself. Stay informed about the latest online threats. Two, communicate openly by having open conversations with your children and the dangers that are out there. Three, set boundaries by establishing clear guidelines for internet use. And finally, report any suspicious activity you see online. Now you can head to WAAYTV.com for more tips on how you can protect your children from online dangers. For now, reporting live in Huntsville with coverage you can count on. Paige Meyer, WAAY 31 News.
Paige, thank you. Well, it's a beautiful day outside here in North Alabama. We're hoping these conditions will stick around for us for a while.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Let's check it with Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle to see how long these spring-like conditions will stick around. Jeff?
Well, at least the spring-like temperatures are going to be sticking around a little while longer. The nice weather, we're talking the sunshine, the dry conditions, unfortunately, going by the wayside heading into the weekend. We'll talk about that in more detail. Try to time it out for you. I know you're trying to plan for Saturday, Sunday, but it may be a little bit difficult with the rain that'll be coming in waves, working our way on into that weekend. Now, let's chat, though, about what we've got going on out there right now, and a whole lot of nothing, and we're fine with that. WAAY 31 Triple Doppler Network showing a clean sweep here across the area. We've got nice clear skies out there. I kind of zoomed in on our Triple Doppler radar there, indicator on our WAAY 31 Skycam network, sponsored by Thompson Roofing and Construction. Beautiful sunset. We've had a couple of days with nice sunsets out there and got another beautiful sky once again this evening. Breaking down your forecast here over the next few hours, so skies will stay mainly clear. If you're going to be out, grab a jacket. That's about all you'll need. Maybe the coat a little bit later on tonight. We'll drop out of the 50s after 7 and then see a drop through the 40s between 8 and 10 o'clock tonight. Back in a few moments. Again, more on the mild weather for the rest of the week and how long that may stick around coming up in your forecast.
All right, thanks, Jeff. You can get our Storm Tracker weather team's latest predictions and data anytime when you download the WAAY 31 Storm Tracker weather app. Gives you access to that 31 Triple Doppler anytime, anywhere, and it's free to download for all your devices.
You can learn more about storm spotting in Colbert County this week. The National Weather Service in Huntsville is hosting a Sky-Warn Storm Spotter course on Thursday. It'll start at 6 at the Cherokee High School auditorium. The course is free and open to the public.
Right now, the Decatur and Morgan County Chamber of Commerce is wrapping up a job fair. Event organizers say they weren't expecting it to be such a huge success. Over 300 people stopped by to chat with potential employers in the River City.
We were hoping for 100, you know. I mean, we just, job fairs and hiring events have have not been what they were pre-COVID, and we're just so excited that we maybe are tapping into that workforce that we so desperately need.
A lot of attendees told our team they don't live in Decatur, but are looking there for new opportunities.
The fatal shooting of Steve Perkins by Decatur police gains national attention. Third-party presidential candidate Dr. Cornel West tonight speaking out about the deadly shooting.
His death has cast a spotlight on injustice in Alabama.
You can catch this exclusive interview tonight on WAAY 31 News at 10. Today, voters in Nevada are heading to the polls, but there's some confusion about the ballot. The two main GOP candidates are competing in different contests. Julia Benbrook explains.
Former President Donald Trump will secure delegates in Nevada, but he's not listed on the primary ballot, creating confusion for voters in the Silver State.
The person I wanted to vote for wasn't on this ballot. I did not know that he wouldn't be.
There are two GOP primary contests taking place in Nevada this week. Tuesday is the state primary, where former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley is listed. Then on Thursday, Trump is participating in the caucuses.
Do the caucus, not the primary. The primary is meaningless.
The 26 Republican delegates are up for grabs in the caucuses.
It's fair to say that Trump has already won the delegates from Nevada.
Here's why. Nevada's state law scrapped the presidential caucuses in favor of a primary back in 2021. But the Nevada Republican Party, which is led by Trump loyalists, opted to continue to hold the caucuses this year and award the state's delegates that way. Rebecca Gill, a professor at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, says that these dueling contests play to Trump's strengths as a candidate.
The support that he does have tends to be a highly motivated group of people, sort of true believer type folks. And so it's a lot easier to get those folks to a caucus.
Nevada's Democratic primary takes place this week as well, but it's much more straightforward. They're following the state's guidelines and only holding a primary. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
After a close call during last month's ice and snowstorms, one North Alabama town is working to prevent running out of water in a time of need. We'll show you how when we come back.
And we take a look at the severe weather impacting the western part of our country and when it could be heading our way.
Mild again tomorrow. I'll let you know when temperatures are going to see their next cool down coming up in your forecast right after the break.
Coverage you can count on. You're watching WAAY 31 News at 6 with Dan Schaefer, Nikel Williams, Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle, and Sports with Nolan Knight.
New at 6 tonight, the town of Leeton is taking steps to make sure their water supply doesn't drop too low again.
You may recall the town's water supply dropped almost to nothing during last month's snow and ice. WAAY 31 anchor Rob Sneed joins us live now to show us what officials are doing. Rob.
Yeah, this evening, town officials told me that it was nerve-wracking when that water got that low. This is the tower. This is where most of the area out here gets its water from. We're talking about 400 folks who live out here, and it holds about 150,000 gallons of water for residents here. But take a look at this. You can see this is the old tower officials say they are evaluating right now. It holds about 75,000 gallons of water. Now, it hasn't been used in years, but I am told that the tower is possibly being reconsidered for usage again. This is for roughly 400 people out here in the area. Now, last month, I'm told that too many folks left their water running instead of keeping it on a slow drip to prevent frozen pipes.
You've got kids that are normally at school. You've got, the adults and parents that are normally at work. And so you've got all these people that are at home for pretty much a solid week. And all those people are using water, which they normally are not at home to use. So, so that pretty much doubled, sometimes tripled the usage, throughout the day. And that went on for, pretty much for a whole week.
Now, you just heard from Shane Burney, who manages the town's water and water waste systems. He says that right now he and the mayor are waiting to hear back from engineers to see if they can indeed use the old tower. They told me that they should get those answers within the next couple of weeks. Of course, when we hear from them, we'll let you know what they have to say. For now, I'm reporting live in Leeton with coverage you can count on. Rob Sneed, WAAY 31 News.
Thanks, Rob. Rain is still falling over parts of California. Flooding and mudslides are a top concern right now. You can see the aerial footage of the Los Angeles area as rain falls for the third day in a row. The combination of saturated ground and gusty winds is uprooting trees. More than 300 mudslides have residents on high alert.
As Mayor Batts and I have surveyed some of the worst slides yesterday, I was reminded of the pure force and magnitude with which a hillside can suddenly come down.
In Northern California, the wind is presenting the greatest danger. So far, 3 deaths have been reported due to falling trees.
Here on the East Coast, we're beginning to feel impacts of this storm as close as Georgia and Florida. The Weather Channel's Paul Goodlow gives us a special look.
Red flags are flying here at lifeguard stands on Melbourne Beach because it's just not safe to be in the water. Yeah, we have a high surf advisory, we have a wind advisory, we have a coastal flood advisory. It's all thanks to a storm system which started on the west coast of the U.S., moved across the Gulf Coast this weekend, even brought severe weather here in Florida and Georgia. Now the low pressure is in the Atlantic, but it's strengthening or deepening, and that's increasing the broad wind field here across Florida, parts of the Carolinas, even out towards the Caribbean, causing all types of problems. You can see how angry the Atlantic is right now. This is not your typical beach day. Winds gusting well over 40 miles per hour, even in South Florida, gusting over 30 miles per hour, and temperatures chilly. With on again, off again sunshine only in the 60s. So the big concern is what these waves are doing to the beaches. We're unfortunately enhancing the beach erosion, and they're in the middle of a project to try to put sand back on the beach, and this storm is not helping. In Melbourne Beach, Florida, I'm Paul Goodlow, the Weather Channel.
Now, WAAY 31 Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle with 31 Triple Doppler.
What a gorgeous day we've seen today.
We've had a great week so far. Sunshine yesterday, sunshine today, and it's been pleasantly mild as well. Doesn't feel like February, does it?
Not at all.
We're going to continue with the warm temperatures. We're not going to continue, though, with the dry weather and the sunshine, unfortunately. It's going to come to an end by the weekend. Let's kind of talk about it. We've been keeping you up to date here on our next Weather Maker, and it will be rolling in just in time to dampen those Friday, Saturday, Sunday plans, even on into early next week. This one's going to be hanging on. This is all actually part of the storm that you've been hearing about out there in California. Little pieces of it are going to be coming our way, and then the main system expected to roll through, it looks like, at the start of next week. But it is going to keep things damp for the weekend. Rain will be off and on, so it's not going to be continuous from start to finish starting Friday. There will be breaks over the course of the weekend, but before it's all said and done, maybe a few inches of rain. Most of us probably 1 inch to 2 inches of rain. That'll be the most. There could be a few spots where we pick up as much as 3 inches of rain. But despite the wet weather, it does stay mild for a few more days. So if you're enjoying the 60-degree temperatures, they're not going to go away for us, it looks like, until around this time or so next week. Now, if you are planning to head out to Decatur on Saturday for Mardi Gras festivities, the Carnegie Carnival Parade taking place, plan on rain. I know that's not going to stop parade goers. Mardi Gras only happens once a year, right? So there'll be people out there despite the wet weather, but do plan on that rain possible, with temperatures, though, not too bad, still running in the 60s despite the wet weather coming on through. Right now, there is no rain on WAAY 31 triple Doppler, and it will remain that way for at least the next couple of days, so enjoy it while we've got the calm conditions out there. Future radar through tonight into tomorrow, not a lot of change. Today we had thin cirrus clouds. I told you that last night at 10 that we'd see some of those today, but still a lot of sunshine out there. And tomorrow, plentiful sunshine for most of the day until we reach around this time or so tomorrow evening. We take you towards the lunch hour. It's still looking mostly sunny, but late afternoon, here comes the cloud cover. This will be the first change that we see as we head through the remainder of the week. Clouds first, and then rain will be coming in after that. Mostly cloudy skies rolling in here for Wednesday night into Thursday morning. That will help, though, boost our overnight temperatures, and heading into Wednesday night, early Thursday, not as cold as what will be again tonight. But as a result of the cloud cover, Thursday, temperatures will come down just a little bit, but notice there's no rain yet. Here's 4 o'clock Thursday. We're still dry. We head into Thursday night and Friday, though, and we begin to see the start of the rainfall. Just some showery weather, I think, during the day on Friday. Some of those early in the morning for the commute, maybe a few around into Friday afternoon, but it'll really be later Friday evening, Friday night into Saturday when we'll start to see that rain become a little bit more widespread across North Alabama and southern Middle Tennessee. Under the mostly clear skies again tonight, temperatures will drop off near freezing in Hazel Green, 31 Skyline, 33 Scottsboro, New Hope, down to 34 tonight. Huntsville, Madison, around 34, 33 Decatur, 33 in Town Creek, and we'll look for mid-30s from Russellville out towards Cherokee. Tomorrow, though, we do warm back up, 60s in here by 1, and that's where we'll stay through tomorrow afternoon. Most of us back where we were today, middle to upper 60s for your highs. Checking things out here on your WAAY 31 Storm Tracker 10-day forecast. Again, we stay in the 60s despite the rain into the weekend. Dry through Thursday. Showers return Friday. Saturday may see some widespread and perhaps some steady rainfall out there, but again, temperatures still manage to hit the mid-60s for those highs. Rain will start to taper off the beginning of next week, and following that, the cool down rolls back in here. Nothing real significant. We're not talking about bitter cold air in here, but we'll get back really what's average for early February, which is highs in the 50s.
Good to see no teens and 20s on that.
Definitely.
Yeah, hopefully we keep those away the rest of the winter.
That'd be nice.
Thank you. Nolan?
Yeah, coming up next in sports, we'll talk some Alabama and Auburn basketball. The Tide and Tigers square off tomorrow. Hear from both Bruce Pearl and Nate Oates next in sports.
WAAY 31 Sports with Nolan Knight.
Well, it's been just 13 days since the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Auburn Tigers squared off inside of Coleman Coliseum. It was a 4-point win for the Tide at the time, 79-75. But now the roles are reversed. The Tide, they hit the road now to travel to Neville Arena to take on a Tigers team that has not lost at the Jungle this season. The Tigers, of course, ranked 12th in the nation. The Tide 16th. It's a meeting between two of the best teams in the country. The Tide sit in the driver's seat of the SEC at 8-1, while Auburn just a game back at 7-2. There may be more on the line in tomorrow's game than any game this season in the SEC. And it's not just the conference that's taking notice, it's the country.
Ranked in the top 20, this game's become a national level game, not just a big game in the state of Alabama, it's a big game in the state of college basketball across the country now. So I'm looking forward to it. It's one of the best environments, I think, in all of college basketball over there. Their fans do a great job giving them a home court advantage, and their players play up to it. So it'll be a fun night.
As for Bruce Pearl, he also talked about the importance of the game and said that if his team is going to take that next step and win a conference, they must win games, just like this one.
Like I said to the team, if we're going to think about having a chance to compete for this conference championship, we got to get one of these on the road that we're not supposed to get. Ole Miss was one of them. They hadn't lost they haven't lost yet. Now they have. So we got one of those. We're probably going to need a couple more if we're going to stay in this hunt. And you got to win all your games at home to have a chance to win a championship. So.
Meanwhile, over at Charger Park, the UAH softball and baseball teams will host their home openers this week. That's right, the spring sports season is already underway. The Charger softball team is already off to a 3-2 start, which includes a win over a top 10 Tampa team last week in Florida. And this week, the Chargers are set to host the Charger Invitational over in Albertville. And today, when previewing the season, legendary head coach Les Studelman talked about how much he loves this year's team because they all know that if they can play their best softball, they can be a contender this season.
And I do love my team. I also love this conference, and it is incredibly strong at the top. And we have a very tough road ahead of us this season. So I do love my team, and it's going to take a lot of improving and working together to get to achieve the dreams.
As for the UAH baseball team, they're in action tomorrow for their home opener. They'll host Emmanuel at noon. The Chargers 2-1 to start the year, which included a 5-2 win over Rawlings to begin the season, a team that was in the D2 World Series last year. When previewing the season, Coach Hunter Royer was excited about this year's team, but he didn't want to make too many predictions.
I think we can compete. I think, in our league, the last couple of years there hadn't been a lick of difference between probably the first place team and the fourth or fifth. I think we can compete with the best teams in the league. That's about as much prediction you're going to get out of me.
As for sports tonight at 10, another busy night for high school hoops. We'll have the highlights.
Yeah, busy night. Yeah.
We're expecting another beautiful day tomorrow.
Yeah, we are. Fairly quiet in the weather department so far this week, but it is going to change heading into the weekend, so enjoy the next few days while we have them. Should be another beautiful, almost spring-like day tomorrow in the 60s, but rain looming large for the weekend. Full update on that wet weather coming up at 10.
WAAY 31 gives you 24/7 coverage you can count on.
Watch us on all of our streaming platforms and meet us back here tonight at 10.